Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss about topic the balancing stakeholder interest. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam or PMP in near future. So let's start. First of all, I request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, balancing stakeholder interest is basically a topic which we have taken it from the PMBOK Guide, Project Management Body of Knowledge, which is a book issued by PMI, Project Management Institute, which is a non-profit based organization and which is issuing different industry standards, best practices for project management. And one of the topic is balancing stakeholder interest. Now friend, first of all we have to understand who is stakeholder actually. What is a stakeholder? Stakeholder is basically a person who has interest in a project. So stakeholder can be a positive stakeholder or can be a negative stakeholder. Stakeholder is basically a person who has some stake, stake or interest in a project. A stakeholder can be impacted by the project, or stakeholder can impact the project as well. For example, if you are implementing an e-commerce solution for a customer, for example, so the CEO from the customer side is a stakeholder. The operation manager from the customer side is a stakeholder. The development team head from the functional from the vendor side is a stakeholder. um, the end user is basically the stakeholder of this project. So the person who has interest, who is basically in any sort, he is basically impacting, who is basically involving in a project, is basically called as stakeholder. Now every stakeholder has different interest, and due to that reason there are high chances that conflict of interest occur. So due to that reason, being a project manager, you have to balance the stakeholder interest actually. So that means you have to work in a way that every stakeholder has a clear visibility, and he may not feel that his interests are affecting, and you have to be managing all these stakeholders properly and balance it accordingly. So first thing is the identify the stakeholder. Identification means, friend, that you can make a list of the stakeholders. Those stakeholders can be internal or external. Internal means that those are stakeholders which belongs to your own organization. For example, if you are from vendor side, so for example, project manager from the vendor side is a internal stakeholder. The development team head is basically the stakeholder internal. External means from the customer side. Okay, external means, for example, the CEO of the customer side, the functional manager from the customer side, operation manager from the customer side. So those are the external stakeholders. So there are so many types of stakeholders, like for example team members, project sponsor, any regulatory body, suppliers, vendors, and the community. Then stakeholder analysis. Stakeholder analysis means that you conduct a thorough stakeholder analysis to understand the needs, expectations, influence on the project. This involves assessing the level of interest, power, and potential impact on the project. So that is basically you analyze that those stakeholders which are involving in a project, what is the level of interest they have, what is the level of power they have. For example, the CEO of a company has high interest and high authority as well, so obviously this will be a very important stakeholder. Another stakeholder who doesn't have interest and also doesn't have a power as well, so obviously he will be a less important stakeholder. So basically you have to analyze that the stakeholder, what is the interest and what is the impact of a stakeholder on the project. Then the prioritizing the stakeholders. Once you analyze the stakeholder impact, and so based on stakeholder interest influence, you basically prioritize the stakeholder. Prioritizing means high level, high important, and the low important stakeholder. So basically this is called as the concept of prioritizing a stakeholder based on the influence and interest. Then communication plan means develop a robust communication plan that outline how and when you will communicate with the stakeholders. Like for example, you can like you have to mention whether you will use emails, any particular software. So what is the way to communicate with them? On weekly basis you will communicate, on after every 2 days you will communicate. So basically this is all depends on communication needs, and also it depends that which level of stakeholder you are talking and what type of communication will be required. Then managing expectations means friend clearly define the scope, objective, deliverable, and to so that you can manage the stakeholder expectations. Regularly on a weekly basis, you should update the status to the stakeholders about the project progress and address any changes promptly so that everyone knows about the project progress and his expectations should be managed accordingly. Conflict resolution. Friend, whenever we are working in any project, there are so many conflicts occur among these stakeholders. So and conflicts is not a negative thing. Obviously if you are managing the conflict properly, so it could be a positive things as well. So you should find a win-win solution among the stakeholders. Then negotiation skills. uh, Friend, when conflicts occur, issues occur, so negotiation and skills are very important. Negotiation means uh, that everyone feel that he got something, and this is called as the concept of the communication, problem solving, and decision making skills. Then continuous engagement means continuously seeking feedback, addressing the concerns, updating the stakeholders on changes or development, talking with them, communicating with them, having meeting with them. So this is called as the concept of continuous engagement. Then adaptability means friend, every stakeholder is different, projects are different, projects stakeholder expectations are changing. So with the requirements, with the regulatory requirements, factors, different factors are there, project manager should adopt the things and responsive to the changes as well. Then risk management means anticipate potential risk related to stakeholder interest and develop mitigation strategies. Proactively addressing concerns can prevent issues from escalating. Ethical consideration. Friend, if you whenever you are working for any project, consider the social responsibility, environmental impacts, so that whatever the project you are working, there should not be any ethical issues, any environmental issues, any social issues. You should avoid all those things appropriately. Documentation means that documentation, all the things should be properly documented related to stakeholder interest, and appropriate documentation related to stakeholder interactions, decisions, and agreements is thoroughly properly maintained. Feedback loops means establish feedback loops to gather input from stakeholders at key milestones. This ensure that the project remains aligned with their expectations and needs. So friend, basically this is a ongoing process, balancing a stakeholder interest, and it requires proactive communication, collaboration, and a keen understanding of the project's impact on various parties. By addressing the diverse needs and expectations of our stakeholders, project managers contribute to the overall success of the project. So friend, thank you. Thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching.